Game Informer and Capcom are not playing around this week. Another Resident Evil video has been dropped. It's a 12-minute walkthrough of Chapter 5, which has the church gameplay, some Ashley gameplay, as well as the cabin fight that was previously shown. I enjoyed this a lot because we finally get to see how the game flows in this level, as it transitions from sneaking around to getting into big fights. Previously, we only kept seeing quick cuts of gameplay segments, but now we get to see what traversing the map looks and feels like in Resident Evil 4 Remake. With all this coverage and the game releasing as soon as next month, I can only imagine that just in a few weeks, we might be getting the demo on our hands. And who knows, maybe that'll happen this week. So in this footage, we see Leon boost Ashley up and she's able to drop down the ladder for us. The narrator of the footage says that in this playthrough, instead of going directly to the ladder, he was able to explore a bit more and found another room here in the upper deck. Sadly, they can't show that footage, but that makes me excited to see that there really are way more areas to explore and find things. The RPG player in me can't resist. By the way, guys, if you're hyped and excited for more Resident Evil 4 content, you don't want to be anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button because only 30% of you guys who watch and love the videos are currently subbed. Let's raise that number even higher and hit that like button to spread the Resident Evil hype by getting this video to over 1,000 likes. And maybe, who knows, it'll make Capcom notice that the fans have a little bit of an issue with the rain, and maybe they'll fix it. Now let's get back into the video. The narrators talking over this footage got to play the game on their own, but this footage was recorded and given to them by Capcom, so I will be mentioning details that they experienced in their playthrough that differed from what the footage will be showing. Sadly, they could not record their own footage, but if you guys are interested in seeing this particular gameplay without their voices, the YouTube channel Punish was able to slightly edit their voices out. I'll link it below in the description. It provides a more immersive feel that you guys should definitely check out after watching this video. But what really caught my eye initially is how Hunnigan, Leon's support, shows up on the screen. Her dialogue continues in the gameplay itself instead of transitioning into a text screen like Metal Gear Solid Codec or the original Resident Evil 4. It kind of reminds me of Dead Space and how they do their transmissions, although I was hoping it would be sort of a better effect for this. It looks cool right now, but I think the feed should be angled a little bit and sort of give off a 3D effect in front of Leon, instead of it just being in the middle of the screen. Arkham Knight kind of does this for their conversations in that game too. How it looks right now in Resident Evil 4 is kind of awkward to me, but it's not a huge deal, especially when mods exist. The next thing we notice in this 4K 60 frames footage, the rain is still pretty aggressive. It's a little bit more apparent when there's more lighting on the screen, like from the enemy torches or the church's front doors. So this seems to be a design choice. I wonder if anti-aliasing settings on PC will help fix this, but we'll have to wait and see on that. It honestly adds to the hectic stuff going on and doesn't look that crazy in other parts of the game where the lighting isn't that bright. And now we see the first look at how side missions will be distributed. Previously in the other video, we talked about the blue flyers that you'll see around the environment, but side missions are completely new to Resident Evil 4 Remake. This quest is called Grave Robber, and it requires Leon to destroy 2 tombstone emblems for 2 spinel, or spinel. What do you guys call it? Leon then stealth takedowns an enemy, and the narrator says he tried to get through this entire part with stealth on his own playthroughs, but it always ended up in this hectic chase format. So, you know, I'm going to be trying to do a stealth playthrough as much as I can and use my knives a lot. Speaking of knives, you can see the knife durability next to the equipment on the bottom right by the health bar. It goes down every single time Leon uses it. It's important to note that in this gameplay footage, it seems that the player has the knives currently maxed out. We see that when the merchant gameplay comes up just now. After using the attaché case, Leon staggers an enemy by shooting their knee and runs up to literally kick their head off their shoulders. This animation is so badass, I need to inject this game inside of me right now. Even though the enemy does transform into a plaga, flashbangs handle him super quick as always. The gameplay cuts to a later part where you see Leon doing a side quest and getting the bird's nest to drop a chicken egg. Well, we get to finally see the best part, the merchant. His voice does sound different, sadly, but the charm is still there to me. I wonder if you can kill him in this one too. I don't think so, seeing as how the previous merchant-inspired characters can't be killed. Fun fact, did you know that in the original Resident Evil 4, the voice actor for Leon was also the same voice actor who voiced the merchant? What are you buying? That's my interpretation. We get to see another Blue Flyer side mission, and this one is to take out a wild dog that's been roaming around the village, and the reward is 8 spinel, which we will be able to see the dog later on, but the narrators talk about how this quest in particular was one of the more involved quests compared to the other side quests that they did. You know, instead of just tracking down items and breaking them, this one does require a little bit of voice dialogue and exposition. They also mentioned that after Leon walks out of this door, he does go left, but you can also go right, and this is a whole another area. which can lead you through a tunnel and takes you up a well into the village. There are lots of paths to go through in the game and discover, which again is something that is very exciting to me. The gameplay cuts again, and the narrators agree about the discourse on the rain. They admit that they think Capcom should tone it down, so hopefully this is something they notice, since they talked about it in this video. Leon and Ashley can both backtrack to Mendez's house, and together they unlock the attic. Just another way to show that Ashley will be able to help a little bit more instead of requiring us to just babysit her all the time. There are tons of items that we can see Leon scan right by, and it's giving me anxiety watching him not pick any of them up. And now the dog mentioned earlier for the side quest finally shows up, and Plaga explodes from it. They confirm that this dog is not the same dog that Leon can save in the original game in the beginning. Capcom has been pretty vague on whether that dog will show up or not, and there are ideas that the dog we see in the earlier footage, which is lying dead next to the bear trap, is that same dog from the OG. I hope not, because that would make me sad, but I think Capcom knows exactly what they're doing, and this is one of those slight story changes that they mentioned they're doing in this remake. What do you guys think? We now see Leon shoot a blue medallion and it says 1 out of 5, and Capcom has stated that this side quest is a recurring side quest for different areas, so each area will have more or less medallions, instead of how the original game you had to find 15 of them. And now we get to see the cabin fight and see a little bit more as Leon sorts through his arsenal, and also boards up the windows and barricades the doors. The narrators mention that the bullhead enemy that they're advertising a lot in these recent promos for Resident Evil 4 Remake is a new type of enemy. He's not an enemy that follows you around the stage like in other Resident Evils. He just appears and you can kill him. But that enemy type will appear more often throughout the playthrough. Leon does get wrecked by him here though. Then finally, we can see how you can combine jewels into treasures in order to increase their value for reselling them. You could also get different briefcases. Various briefcases of Leon's can apply different effects and perks, such as increased drop rates for handgun ammo, like the first case does, and the second black case offers increased drop rate for resources that are large. There are also charms like this chicken charm, where if you equip it and then eat a chicken egg, it gives you 100% health recovery, which is very useful. And it seems that you can equip multiple of these too. See how the charm says that you can equip it on the left, center, or right side of the case. So I can't wait to see what other charms exist and how much more they can manipulate effects within the gameplay. And so far, from the new footage, that is all we're able to pull through from this. It's making me super excited, guys. We have a little over a month until this game comes out, and I hope that when the demo drops, it'll be a timed demo, which will allow you to go through the stages and can get a little bit further with each playthrough. It's typical that in Resident Evil games, your first playthrough is usually the longest, and they really are actually short games once you know where to go and what to do in regards to puzzles and finding items. So this first playthrough is going to be something special, and I can see myself streaming Resident Evil 4 Remake regularly from time to time now. What about you guys? What did you like most from this showcase, and what else are you looking for? Comment below and let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Resident Evil videos are on the way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.